close your eyes, turn around, and count to 9. When you open them, I will be gone.
Okay? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The Spartans said they were tougher. The Spartans said they would flinch. And they did.
Love Cleves, you know, but Mat Ishbia is my greatest recruit.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching Spartan Dogs for Life, the SD4L Show. I am Brian Mosallam, along with my co-host Justin Thind, and we have a very special guest tonight, Mat Ishbia. How you doing?
Good to be here. How you guys doing? Good?
Yeah, it's good to have you here, Matt.
Awesome.
Appreciate your time.
We are absolutely honored to have one of the all-time great Spartan Dogs here, and especially on set. We really appreciate your time and stuff, and so thank you for joining us. Why did you decide to join us?
You guys invited me. I'm excited to be here. Especially Justin. I like this guy. You're one of my favorites.
How about
too.
me?
Yeah, you're one of my favorites, but I'm happy to be here with you guys. Talk about Spartans. You guys are doing good things for the Spartan Nation, so proud to be here supporting you guys and supporting the show.
Your Venmo will be processed, so thank you for that endorsement.
So we obviously, Spartan Nation is very familiar with all that Matt has done for the university. So thank you for joining us. Just real briefly, you were a grad assistant for Coach Izzo, decided to get yelled at all day, and then leave and become a billionaire and buy the university. Tell us why.
No, honestly, Michigan State's meant so much to me. It's been like they've done so much for me, Coach Izzo specifically, but also the business school and the university in general. I wouldn't be as successful as I am without them. And so when you're successful and anything that happens good in life, whether you can give back $1 or millions of dollars, you do what's right. And I was proud to be able to give back and make an impact and hopefully help the next generation of Spartans. And of course, support our fans, the kids, the coaches, everyone around. So I'm just proud to be part of it. And they made me who I am, and so I can give a little back to them, and because I'm lucky enough to be able to do so now.
So, Matt, so far with your donations to Michigan State, you've decided to honor your parents and Coach Izzo with the naming rights of everything you've donated. You want to take us behind the rationale for that?
Well, it's not about Mat Ishbia. It's about Michigan State, and Tom Izzo deserves all the recognition. Tom Izzo is the man. Nothing at Michigan State happens. My success isn't there without Tom Izzo. So many people's success isn't there without Tom Izzo. Anyone that graduated from Michigan State, your degree is elevated because of Tom Izzo and Michigan State, what he's done for the university. And so I give him all the credit in the world. And so to put his name on a building, I go, who am I? I mean, he's the guy. There's a small entrance that I put after my parents because I love my parents. My parents mean the world to me, and they deserve that. But Tom Izzo is Michigan State, and so Mat Ishbia is not Michigan State. Any other people put their name on it, like it's Tom Izzo's school, and I'm proud to support him. And obviously he's doing great things. Mel Tucker, a lot of people are doing great things, but Tom Izzo's the guy that you think of when you think of Michigan State.
For sure.
I think that's obviously very humble of yourself, and everything that you've done for the university, from donating, largest donation in history, at the largest NIL deal in history, paying all the basketball, football players, but really a lot of it stems from what the university has meant to you, what Tom Izzo has meant to you. And tell us a little bit about what Coach Izzo has meant to you in your life.
Well, he's meant so much. Like Coach Izzo is, taught me so much about not being a basketball player, but being a man, and growing up there and learning work ethic, learning attitude, learning like how to be part of a team, right? Like I'm a CEO of my company now, but I'm one of 8,000 people. I'm part of the team, right? I have my role to play. And when I learned at Michigan State, like I went to high school at Seaholm High School, and I was the star player, scored 23 points a game. I'm the star. Then I go to Michigan State, and I'm the 14th guy out of 14, right? And you have a role to play. The star player has a role. The 14th guy has a role. Izzo taught me that. And now at CEO at UWM, like I have a role to play there. I'm not more important than the person that cleans the bathrooms or the person that's underwriting the files. I have my role. I got to be the best CEO in the country. Just like back then, I tell people all the time, my job was to be the best third string point guard in the country. Behind Mateen Cleese, behind like that's my job. And so he taught me about play your role and dominate it with a great attitude every day. And he's been a huge part of my success, along with my parents, to help me get to where I'm at in life. And I can't thank him enough. And that's why I'll continue to do stuff for him, Michigan State, because I'm lucky to have him.
What has he taught you to apply to your everyday principle in your business and growing your business? Because we saw the numbers come out, right? Your net income was up 55%, as opposed to your competitor down 94%. What is your secret sauce there, and what has Tom Izzo? What has he taught you to buy into that?
Yeah, I mean, the secret sauce is take care of your people. Do right by people all the time. You always take care of people. Do the right thing and good things happen. Like there's no ROI on doing the right thing. You do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And Izzo taught me that. My father taught me that. You take care of people. You take care of people to take care of the business. And so that's what's happened at UWM, why we've been so successful. It's not a Mat Ishbia show. It's like I have great people around me. They do amazing things every day, and I'm proud to be part of the team. And Izzo, I mean, I wrote a book about, all the things I learned from him and applied to business, because business and sports are aligned. Sports travels. Like I learned from Izzo and applied it to business. It's not that good of a book, but I took so many things from it. It's an average book at best. But the best part is like
the bestseller. What are you talking about?
But it's legit, because it's not made up. It's legitimately what I learned from Izzo, from the details of being in the weeds of your business to the work ethic and the hours that I put in. It's like I joke with Izzo, like back then I was working 60, 70 hours a week as at UWM. He's like, well, what do you do for the rest of the day? The rest of the week, like he taught me 80, 90, 100 hours a week, and that's what I've done for 19 years at UWM. I wouldn't be who I am without him. And like I said, I always got to give credit to my mom and my dad, who both work hard and taught me the lesson of being a great person. But Izzo is a huge impact, and I could tell stories all day about the impact and the little things that he did that you recognize and you apply it to business.
Can we say those stories publicly or no?
There's a couple I can share publicly.
Matt, why don't you tell us a funny Izzo story that you can tell publicly, even if it's your 27th best Izzo story, because the other 26 got filtered out.
So I got so many of them. I can tell you multiple, but I'll give you one story about work ethic that remains today and resonates to me today. So I played 4 years with Izzo. Right. And then my 5th year, I was a student assistant coach. So I got to sit on the bench with him, travel with him, sit in the rooms with him. Coach Garland, Mike Garland's a great guy. He just retired. So I spent time. So we went to Minnesota. We're on the road at Minnesota. ESPN game, we lose. We lose. I don't remember the score. We lost by a couple points. And, we do the media. And, at Michigan State, luckily, we're very lucky. We get to fly back on a charter plane. So we all fly back after the game. On the plane after the game, I'm, like, sitting in a row next to Izzo. And Izzo's like, go get Chris Hill. Go get Anderson. Like, I'm bringing them up. I'm waking them up on the plane at, like, 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. Like, going through the details with them. Like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? What's going on? We're going through all the nuances and details. I'm taking notes, doing the thing. And then we get back. He talks to the players around 1 in. And he's like, all right. He sends them home. This is a Tuesday night, right? Or Wednesday night, whatever, a weekday. Go to class. Be on time at your 8 o'clock class.
Sure. Sure, okay.
Me and the coaches, we go up. He's like, let's go watch the game again. It's 1:15 in the morning. We order pizzas. We watch the game until 3:15 in the morning. I remember this so distinctly. 3:15 in the morning, the other coaches like stand up like, we're out of here. Like, and coach is like, Ish, let's watch it again. Watch it again. I'm like, what the fuck am I saw it. We lost, coach. Like, the game's over. We lost the game. And it says, so we watch the game again until 4:15, 4:30. I walk out to the parking lot with Coach Izzo. Freezing, snow, cold. 4:30 in the morning. I go home. I sleep for 3-4 hours. I come back at 8:15. I walk by Coach Izzo's office. This guy's in the office already. And he looks at me and says, hey, Matt, what are you doing? Ish, what are you doing? I'm like, what am I going to say? I'm going to watch the game again? He's like, hey, we start at 8 around here, Ish. I'm thinking to myself, this guy's work ethic is beyond what he could have. Like, it takes a lot to be the best. And his work ethic and determination to be the best, he was not accepting. We lost by like 3 points or 4. Like, it wasn't like he wanted to outwork everyone, and he had notes on what we could do better, and he was prepared to be great. And so that work ethic is like, I learned that day, like, I don't care what you did yesterday, today's a new day. You're here at 8, we're starting on time, we got to get grinding, and we got to get better. And so that's just one of the stories that I can tell that's a PG story for the most part.
So, a PG, thank you. But, like, so all that made you become a billionaire?
It taught me that if you want to be great, you got to outwork everyone else you're competing with. So if you want to be great in anything, I don't care if you want to be a billionaire, like that was never a goal of mine. You want to be successful on this podcast, you want to be successful anything you do in your life. You want to be successful, husband, wife, whatever you want to be, you got to outwork everyone. You got to care. And what I learned is Izzo cared more than almost anyone else. Izzo couldn't shoot the shots, but he cared about every detail, and that's what made him great. That's what makes him great to this day. He outworks everyone, and that's what I did in my business. That's why I get into the office at 4 a.m., stay till 7 p.m. I'm going to outwork everybody. No one's going to work harder than me. I'm not smart. I don't have as much money as other people, but I'm going to outwork everyone, and that's how I got to where I'm at.
What a great account of what Coach Izzo is all about. So, Matt, I know one of the stories that are cool that as a tradition at Michigan State is on senior day, the seniors start no matter what the circumstances are. Other coaches, they kind of pick and choose maybe when they might want to do that. What can you tell us about against Iowa? You as a senior getting a chance to play. What did that mean to you?
What an honor, you know. I didn't know I was starting that day. You know, Izzo's 5th, 6th, 7th year maybe. You know, he went to 3 straight Final Fours, and we actually had to win against Iowa to make the NCAA tournament that year. We only wound up winning, you know, and we actually lost the Big Ten tournament the next week and then lost the first round. But we needed to win that game, and it was very easy for Izzo to just say, yeah, there's only one senior. It was Mat Ishbia. We'll play him if we're up by a lot.
Yeah.
Iowa was good that year. He put me in as a starter. Not only put me in as a starter, but he called the first play for me. I missed the shot. I made another shot. I made a three-pointer a couple minutes later in the game. He played me for 3 or 4 minutes at the beginning of the game. It meant the world to me because, you know, it showed that the culture of Michigan State basketball was set based on the way he treated me. Like, everyone was watching. The freshmen on the team, Chris Hill, Alan Anderson, Kelvin Torbert, they saw how Izzo treated me. He could have easily not started me.
Right.
No, I wouldn't have said a word. No one has said a word.
Right.
But he could have easily not done it. But he did the right thing. And it always shows you, do what's right all the time, and good things end up happening. And we ended up winning that game by a lot. But it was an example of Coach Izzo doing the right thing when no one would have questioned him if he didn't.
Right.
Loyalty. You know, my dad taught me loyalty. Your dad taught you loyalty. That is a quality that you can't learn. It's inherited from your parents. You talk about Coach Izzo's loyalty and just how the former players embrace him.
It's unbelievable. He's the guy, right? So, like, no matter what happens in life. So a lot of people go to Michigan State's go to school at college, and like the coaches tell you a bunch of stuff. They don't actually live the family word. The word I think of is family. Izzo treats you like family. 20 years later, now when I graduated college, I wasn't anybody. Like, Izzo would still pick up my call, still ask me if I needed anything help. Like, do the things for me. When I'm just making $40,000 a year working in the business, trying to work my way up. He was always there for me. He's the kind of guy. He's like treats you like an uncle or a father all the time, and that loyalty is noticed by everyone. And, you know, there's no sports program, college basketball, college football, that has the loyalty where all the players come back, all the players care. So if you're a recruit wants to watch, like, are you part of the program or are you part of the family? There's a big difference.
Big difference.
If you're part of the program for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and then you move on, check all the big programs. I don't care if you're Duke, North Carolina, the biggest basketball programs, they don't have a family like Michigan State, and that's because of Tom Izzo. That's because of Tom Izzo and the way he treats people. He'll get on you. He's not the nicest guy all the time, but it's because he cares about you. He wants you to be great, and he always will care about you, even when you can't do anything to help him out. Like 5 years after you're playing, like, what's a walk-on going to help him out with? He still answered my call, still cared about me, still did the right thing. Tom Izzo's a legend because of that, more than his wins on the court.
Don't lie. Be honest. We're on national television. We got millions watching. Does Izzo yell?
He yells with love. But yes, he yells. You know, the thing is, he yells when he's right. You know, when you're a player, you don't like being yelled at. I don't like being yelled at. I got yelled at a lot. I didn't even play.
You did?
All the time. I mean, I could tell you story after story about things that I messed up and I did wrong, and I didn't even play in the games, you know? But the thing was, there's a standard of excellence. And you know what? Every time he yelled at me, he was probably right. I probably wasn't hustling. I didn't dive on the floor. What he was great at about was holding everyone accountable to be the best version of himself. So if the rebound came off and Jason Richardson grabbed it and didn't go up and dunk it, he'd blow the whistle and yell at Jason, because Jason's capable of going up and dunk it. If I got that rebound, he wouldn't yell at me to not dunk it because I can't dunk, right? But if the
You
ball
can't?
Barely, I can't. But I got
Okay.
the rim. I could get up a long time ago.
You
But
sure about that?
nah, that's not true. Actually, I can't.
All right. Let's just be
I
honest.
can
We
get
got to
up
be
there.
honest
I can-
here.
a long time
We're a very
ago.
transparent show. Let's be honest. Can you touch the net still or the rim?
Oh, I could get up there. A long time ago, I could get up. But if the ball was on the floor and I didn't dive and bloody my nose, he was after me because Ishbia's capable, right? And so he was great at making you be the best version of yourself. And I use that in my business all the time. What's the best version of yourself? How do I make you the best version of yourself? That's my job as the CEO. That was his job as the coach. Mat Ishbia was never going to be Mateen Cleaves. But I had to be the best version of Mat Ishbia, and that's what Izzo did. That's why he'd yell at you if you weren't doing it. And not one player looks back and it's like, oh, he was a jerk. They all say, he loves me, he was hard on me, but he was right.
You know, you told me a great story once about Mateen and his leadership, right? And when you were guarding him really hard in practice, and to me that speaks volumes of the culture that Coach Izzo has built. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, so one of my first practices at Michigan State, okay, so Mateen Cleaves, star player, Big Ten player of the year before. I'm a freshman, redshirt, nobody, and I'm guarding him in practice. And I remember so distinctly because I thought to myself, I still question myself whether I would have handled it the way Mateen did, but Mateen handled it better than you could ever imagine. I'm guarding Mateen Cleaves in practice, and Mateen sweeps the ball, and I smack the crap out of his arms. Knock his arms like loud, and I grab the ball. And Izzo blows the whistle. Ishbia, get your hands off of him. What the heck? About to yell.
Did he swear?
No, I have never heard him swear.
No, never heard him swear.
What the heck are you doing? And Mateen, the star player, could have easily been like, yeah, punk, get off me. Like, hey, well, yeah, yes, yeah. Or said nothing. Mateen looks up at coach and says, hey, coach, I got to be stronger with the ball. It's not his fault. People are going to follow me in the game. I got to hold on the ball. That's on me. Let's keep playing. Right?
Wow.
Like, and that, I mean, a star player to do that to a nobody walk on, that's leadership.
Wow.
That is a champion, and that's why we won the national because of Mateen Cleaves and Coach Izzo and the way he did it. But Mateen Cleaves is the winner. The biggest winner of all time, Mateen Cleaves. He's a leader. He's the man. And that was a story I remember. I will never forget it because I think as a CEO, would I kind of do that? Would I kind of?
Yeah.
He had no upside in doing that, but he did the right thing, and that's the kind of guy he was.
That is tremendous leadership. Speaking of Mateen Cleaves, you know, Coach Izzo has always bragged about Mateen being his greatest recruit ever. Although we have footage that states otherwise,
Yeah.
right?
In the intro video,
we have footage that states that you're his greatest recruit ever. How did that come about, Matt?
Coach Izzo was mistaken. I was not his greatest recruit. Tom Izzo was wrong on that. I can't tell him. I don't want him to get mad at me. But Mateen Cleaves is the best recruit, and there's probably another 200 recruits better than me. I was honored. I became a success because of Izzo. Other players helped Izzo become successful because Mateen Cleaves is the greatest recruit. Along with there's so many other ones I can't even name. Jason Richardson, Charlie Bell, Morris Peterson, Antonio Smith, who laid a lot of the foundation. Then so many other players. Draymond Green. I mean, I can go through. I'm not even in the top 20. But it's an honor that Coach Izzo would even think of me as someone important in his life.
Are you going to get Draymond on the show for us?
I'll reach out to Draymond. Draymond just got married. He's a wonderful guy. I'm sure he'd be great on the show.
So you're basically saying right now Izzo never yelled at you or yelled at you? We need to know. Does he yell?
He coached me up, is what we call it. He coached me up. He got me better.
Ryan, we've seen them mic'd up. Izzo's a calm guy. Tells people, come on, guys, we can do better.
They had him mic'd up once for a game, and he was like, come on, guys, you could do better. You know, and I just thought it was the greatest thing ever because, as we all know, his huddles are, you know, that's how they go, right? I mean,
all positive. All great job, team, and let's keep it going, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, that's just phenomenal.
So, Matt, we talked a lot about Coach Izzo, but you have made a great contribution along with Steve St. Andre in making sure that head coach Mel Tucker sticks around East Lansing. What have you seen from Coach Tucker? What kind of inspired that confidence from you guys? And yeah, what are your thoughts on what the football program's doing right now?
I mean, they're doing amazing. Mel Tucker is a winner. He's very similar. I spent some time with him. He came down to my office, before last season,
right.
And I spent a lot of time with him. I learned so much about him and the way he is, and how he's so similar to Tom Izzo. He's a winner. He's got that mentality of that grind, that I'm relentless mentality, that let's dominate everybody mentality, and he's a 50-year-old man who's in the prime of his career, that's going to build something special, and he's going to take Michigan State football just like Tom Izzo took Michigan State basketball. I mean, and I believe in Mel Tucker. I know he's working hard. He's in early. He stays late. He cares. He's recruiting his butt off, but at the same time, he's coaching everyone up.
Right.
And spending time with Mel, if you ever spend a little bit of time with him, you'll realize that guy's a winner. I want to be around him. I want to be around. He'll motivate me. He gets me better. He sends me voice texts. I send him voice. I'm getting better as the CEO, hanging out with this guy. Hopefully, I give him a little inch, maybe in the football. Yeah. But he's a winner, and I'm proud to be associated with him. The contract stuff, people overblow. Like, he was not going anywhere. It's not about that.
Right.
He wants to be at Michigan State.
Yeah.
I just want to let him know that we're here to support him,
right.
And we will be, not because when he wins 10, 11, 12 games, when he wins 7, 8 games, he's going to win
right.
because he does the right thing and he takes care of the players, and I'm proud to call him a friend, but also I look up to him as a coach. He can do great things.
But you've changed. You and like Steve St. Andre have changed the culture at Michigan State, right? There's we've never had donors step up that wanted to participate in keeping coaches here. This is a culture change. This is something that that the SEC might be used to, but not here. And you were very supportive of Mel, very supportive, obviously, of Coach Izzo, and your love for the program. Tell us how, the impact football has on basketball. And why you felt the halo, because you said to me many times that the halo effect that basketball and football have on all the non-revenue sports, on all the female sports, that it's very important those two to succeed so that all our other sports, especially our female sports, are able to be able to compete. And how important was that to you?
Well, it's so important because it's all sports. Like, it starts with football and basketball. They're the revenue sports. When they're successful, it helps every sport, from women's soccer to women's cross country to men's baseball. Every sport matters at Michigan State, and every student athlete has an opportunity to be successful, and Michigan State should be a destination. On the coaching side, this isn't a step-up job. Tom Izzo changed that. Mat Ishbia, Steve St. Andre's done great things. Mat Ishbia, I made a little contribution. But Tom Izzo set that tone that, listen, I'm here. He got multiple NBA offers, multiple ways to go. He could have done whatever he wanted to do. Tom Izzo set the tone that Michigan State is an elite Big Ten school, the elite Big Ten school in basketball, and soon to be the elite Big Ten school in football. Mel Tucker will help carry that torch on in the football world. And so I don't think and you can tell me I'm wrong, there's not a university in the country that's got a better football and basketball tandem than Tom Izzo and Mel Tucker. It's not out there in the country, and you're going to see those results, and that will help every single sport, like I said, from tennis to golf to cross country, and it starts with those schools, those sports, and it pays down to everybody else. And so I'm proud to help support those guys, but more importantly, I'm just proud to be a fan. I'm like you guys. I just want to cheer them on and be part of the team, and hope the Spartans continue to do good things.
But as part of your donation, what was very important to you was the Spartan for Life program, and that after that our student athletes graduate, male, female, that we're able to build an infrastructure, a Rolodex, to get them jobs, to make sure that all our Spartans, regardless of what sport they play, are able to find a job. And to me, that's very commendable, because sometimes in athletics, there's a notion around the country that we churn them and burn them, right? But to you, it was very important that once you're a Spartan for life.
Yep.
And tell us why you wanted that included in your donation.
Well, it was a key part of it. Spartan for Life is every single person that's a student athlete at Michigan State, and really I think of students, we want to help guide them to be successful and help them. We're part of a fraternity, if you want to think of it that way. We're that we can help them, they can help us, we can all win together. I got 7 of my former teammates that work at Michigan at UWM, my company. A lot of former managers. I got other athletes from all different. We are a family environment that we want to create that opportunity. Now, it doesn't mean that if you just because you played women's tennis or men's football, whatever sport, that you have a job for life. It gives you that opportunity to other CEOs, other businesses that are run by Michigan State. And so, Michigan State owners, people that are watching this, you own a company or you lead a company that and you're a Michigan State and you want to help get student athletes in it. Because by the way, if you are a student athlete at Michigan State, you worked extremely hard. You had to be great at that. And now how do you translate that to business? We've had so much success with former Michigan State athletes, former college athletes in general, a lot of times, and also former military that understand discipline, understand team. And so we're happy to provide that and help them out in the Spartan for Life program, where I put a couple $1 million towards that opportunity to help get that message out, help those former athletes. I don't care if you were an athlete 28 years ago, we want to help you. You lost your job and you need a new job, new career, we've got you. That's the Spartan family.
That's wonderful. So, so to be clear, the SD4L show is different from the brand. Those are two completely different things. And our job is to help promote the brand, but they're separate entities. And you're a firm believer in this SD4L concept. Tell us why.
Well, it's a great concept. So what Steve St. Andre has done, along with a lot of other great Michigan State Spartan supporters have done, is basically put in a way for us all to support and grow a brand. And a lot of athletes are going to represent this brand. A lot of athletes will do great things to support the brand. We're all going to support this brand because SD4L, that's what it is, Spartan Dogs for Life. Once you're a Spartan dog, it's for life. And we're in there. And so, I'm just, I unfortunately, two of us don't have any gear. I mean, I got a suit on. One day, maybe if I can donate some money, I can get a shirt or T-shirt or something Spartan Dog for Life.
We'll get you a super small.
Yeah,
we'll get it for you.
I'd love to maybe earn that one day, but
it's got to be tight, though. It's got to be tight. It's got to be. You
I don't have your muscles like you, but the reality is, it's a great concept because it's doing the right thing. It's a great brand, first off, and second off, it's going to help contribute to helping players succeed, helping the university succeed, get our messaging out about Spartans. Like, I'm proud to support it. I'll continue to support it. I just got to get a T-shirt one day, and I'm thinking maybe next year I can earn one.
Yeah, maybe one day you'll be important enough.
We'll get you a shirt. I mean, I think that really, if you think about it, the brand, right, which is separate from the show, the brand, if this thing is scalable, really could become one of the few sustainable NIL models in the country. Not that it's an NIL model. It's a brand, but if you're able to sell merch and to be able to position the merch in a way where that all the money is going to be reinvested back into the brand to hire influencers, it's something that could be very special down the road. So
absolutely, and I'm proud to be supportive of it. And like I said, Steve's done a good job. You guys done a good job, and getting that brand out there will help all of Spartan Nation. And at the same time, it's a pretty cool brand.
It is
cool. I heard the gear is pretty cool. Yeah. Like I said, I got to get a shirt one day, but I'll get one.
I'll work on it.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna get you something. So I guess when you buy the university, we can afford to give you a T-shirt.
Got it.
So that's gonna be good. One last question before I let you go, and I'll tell you. First of all, thank you for everything that you have done for the university. You're a brother. I love you. It's from your heart. There's no ego. You don't want your name on anything. You never cared about it. You care about honoring your parents. You care about honoring Tom Izzo. It's never, ever been about you. Ever. And I think that's commendable. That's extremely commendable. But in your eyes, when you look at the university from a 360-degree panoramic view, who's the greatest trustee ever?
It's a really close one, right? There's a lot of trustees I really like right now. If I have to take out the current trustees, you're definitely one of the top 80 that I've met, without question. Brian Mosallam.
Top 8?
Top 80.
80! Oh, my God.
No, Brian Mosallam, to give you some credit, you've helped me and helped so many people at the university, and I'm proud to call you a friend and help me with a lot of things. But you are my favorite trustee. At least trustee emeritus.
Former.
Trustee emeritus, is that what you guys call them these days? But but you guys are doing great things for the school, getting the message out about what Michigan State's doing, the football program, the basketball program, but the whole school, all the athletic programs, everything. We're doing good things. Michigan State's special. It's different than the rest of the schools. It's different than the rest of the universities out there. I'm telling you, Michigan State's special. I saw it firsthand. I lived it, and now I'm living it beyond that. I'm proud to give back. I appreciate you guys giving back and making an impact because it's special. If you get to go to Michigan State University and be a part of the program, football, basketball, or any sport, or just go to the university, you're a lucky person. I'm honored.
I'm telling you, we're honored to have you. We have a special set of donors, guys like you, Steve St. Andre, Greg Williams. Guys, no ego, want to help the program, are not looking for recognition, and on behalf of the SD4L show, thank you. You've done it's an amazing job that you've done. Thank you for joining the show. We're so glad.
Proud to be part of it.
to
Greg
have you
Williams,
on.
Steve St. Andre, all these guys are doing great things. I'm part of the team with everyone else in it. A lot of great donors out there, but also just supporters of Michigan State. So thank you.
That is wonderful. When are you going to get us Draymond Green, though?
Draymond Green. I'm going to work on it. Draymond
After
probably.
you get him a shirt.
Can you get it?
I can't even tell Draymond about the show because I'm wearing a suit on the show.
Can you get us Magic too? I mean, get us something.
Mateen Cleaves is who you need. Mateen Cleaves is the
We had
best.
Mateen on.
He's the best. He's the man. Draymond Green's a legend. Mateen, Magic. You got Izzo.
Mateen is a legend. Magic, Mateen, and
Jason Richardson.
Jay Rich.
Charlie
we got
Bell.
him.
There's so many legends
Charlie,
out there.
we got him. We're going to work on him.
These are the best guys out there. I'm just lucky to be in the group with these guys at a small level.
You are unbelievable.
You make a great point, Brian, about donors and how they operate at various schools. And I know in my time covering the industry of recruiting, you see all over the place down in the SEC, donors buy coaches, and then they dictate their every move. They micromanage them, and if things aren't going right, they can push them out of the door because the donor's own ego, their own ROI. I've heard firsthand how those schools down south operate. I've also heard firsthand that that's not how the donors here operate. And
No.
I can say that by looking around at the SEC, following the recruiting storylines and stuff, and you're definitely spot on with the way that Matt, Greg, and Steve St. Andre and all these guys do it.
The lack of ego of Matt, Steve, and Greg, are unmatched across the country. So, Matt, thank you for I know you're busy. Thank you for your time today,
Thank you.
brother.
Thanks for having me.
You're a brother.
Loved it.
Always been a brother. Love you
Appreciate
too.
you. Thank you, guys.
God bless you, man. And we'll catch up later.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you. Thanks
night,
for having
and go green.
Go
Appreciate
white.
you.
All